Hi, my name is Allison, but everyone calls me Allie. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, my parents were real-life superheroes. They didn't fly or shoot laser beams out of their eyes, but they saved lives daily. They both worked for Doctors Without Borders, and they traveled to remote villages worldwide to provide the best medical care. Sometimes they'd even fall sick themselves, but that never stopped them from helping people. And I wanted to be just like them. Once when I was 6, my nanny took me to the park and I saw a little girl crying. She told me her puppy got off its leash and ran away. I felt so bad for her that we stayed there for 4 hours looking for it until we finally found it.
Thank you so much. You're my hero.
I felt so proud to be like my parents, even if it was just a little. And growing up, I took every opportunity to do so. Other than the fact that my parents were gone for months, my life was kind of perfect. And I had everything I could ever want. But in the 10th grade, everything changed forever. One afternoon, I was in my room watching some MSA videos on YouTube when my parents returned from a trip to Venezuela. As I hugged them, I noticed a girl my age standing behind them. She was small and thin, and she held a cane as a walking stick. She also wore very large headphones and looked bored. My parents welcomed her in and then turned to me. Honey, this is Gabriela from Venezuela. We adopted her. She's your new sister. We know this will be an adjustment, but just think of this as the new chapter for us as a family. What the heck? An adjustment? This was a bombshell. You didn't think to mention it before now? ¿Qué estás diciendo? Está hablando demasiado rápido. Does she speak any English? How am I supposed to, talk to her? ¿Puedo hacerle un dibujo si eso ayudaría? She wants to draw you a picture. Gabriela pulled out a small notepad and drew a picture of a girl riding a cow. Ya, la niña soy yo y la vaca eres tú. She pointed to the cow and then to me. Then she pointed to the girl and back at herself. Did she just call me a cow? No, she's just excited for you guys to play with each other. We didn't even have an extra room, so it turned out she'd be sharing mine. My parents had lost their minds. Here, you should take my bed, and the mattress might not be that comfy. Gracias, hermana. Si te sientes incómoda, ni siquiera me importa. You're welcome, I guess. On Monday, my parents enrolled Gabriela in my school. I had to babysit her the entire day. I was late to every class because she couldn't walk very fast, and explaining the situation repeatedly to the teachers was exhausting. It was also hard to communicate with her. And at home, sharing a room with her was awful. I had no privacy, and she snored. I hugged my pillows around my head, but nothing helped. I wanted to scream. When I couldn't take it anymore, I went downstairs to sleep on the couch. I was just about to doze off when I got a text from my boyfriend Trevor. Hey, wanna go out for a walk? I'm outside. We'd met a couple of months ago when we signed up for a karate class, and we'd been inseparable ever since. I quickly got dressed, making sure to be as quiet as a mouse and not wake up anyone. Then I slipped out the window and ran down the driveway. As soon as I saw him, I jumped into his arms. You will not believe the day I've had. Try me. We began walking down the street hand in hand, and I told him everything. By the time I finished my rant, he hugged me and offered to translate for me at school to make things easier with Gabriela. At least someone was on my side. When I got home, I was relieved that everyone was still sound asleep. I peeked over at Gabriela, and I noticed some papers lying underneath the bed. When I checked them, I saw she'd worked on some pretty advanced math equations. She even scribbled out the parts where the teachers had made mistakes. Wow, this girl was a genius. Suddenly, I had an idea. The school hosted a huge Math Whiz competition, and the grand prize was a full scholarship to university. If she won this, she'd be set for life. And if I helped her, maybe we'd be on better terms with each other. The next day, I signed her name up and looked for her everywhere to tell her the news. I finally found her on the playground with Trevor. When I came over, Trevor put his arm around me, and suddenly her face dropped. Okay, good, you've met. Babe, I need you to tell her some amazing news for me. I excitedly told him everything, and before he even finished translating, Gabriela exploded. Hiciste qué? Wait, was she mad? Why are you butting into my business? Shut the front door. So wait, you suddenly speak perfect English? Why have you been trying to lie to us this whole time? Gabriella suddenly looked so mean. Just to bother you, because I can? And how dare you sign me up for something without even asking me? I was just trying to do something nice for you. Well, stop. I don't need anything from you. With that, she stormed off. And I was shocked. I tried to tell my parents that she'd lied about not knowing English, but they were so in love with her they didn't believe me. Come on, honey. Why would she do that? I know it's hard for everyone to adjust, but try and be more cooperative, please. Are you freaking kidding me? Whenever she was around them, she acted all sweet and innocent, but every time they left the room, she was a totally different person. Your parents didn't believe you, did they? Gosh, they're so stupid. Hey, don't talk about them like that after everything they've done for you. So what? Now they're some kind of heroes and I should worship them for saving a poor little girl like me? Well, I didn't ask for it. They just did it to feel good about themselves. As she walked off, I was stunned. This girl was really something, and she seemed to hate us all. I had to find a way to show my parents the truth. At school, I noticed that Gabby would often sneak off during lunch, so I decided to follow her one day and see what she was up to. I found her sitting in the music room by the piano. She was playing a soft tune, and I had to admit, she was really good. That's beautiful. What do you want? Answers, mostly. An apology would be nice too. You're not getting one. Can you please leave me alone? Why are you hiding out here? It's quiet, and people don't stare at me or pity me. Just then, she winced in pain, and I saw her rubbing her leg. Does it hurt a lot? All the time, but I don't want to talk about it. Okay, fine. And listen, I'm sorry for butting in about this competition, but I've seen your work, and you could actually win this thing. Think about your future. Don't do it for anyone else. Why do you even care? Believe it or not, but I think we're a lot alike. We're both stubborn, headstrong, and not easily scared of a challenge. In a perfect world, we might actually be friends. I doubt it, but I guess getting some independence won't be so bad for me. You've got nothing to lose, right? When the competition came around, Gabriella aced it. She solved all the questions and left everyone else in the dust. My parents, Trevor, and I cheered her on happily as she received her award. And later at dinner, Gabriella even confessed about lying to everyone. I'm really sorry for not being honest. I don't know what came over me. Although Mom and Dad were shocked to hear her perfect English, they accepted her apology happily. They also apologized to me, and I felt so relieved. The next week at school, she was on cloud 9. Everywhere we went, people complimented her. I even noticed her flirting with the school's heartthrob at lunch. I was glad her confidence was so much better, even though I'd noticed she'd been limping more lately. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until one day when I was heading to class and I overheard the guy laughing with his friends. Being with Gabs is so cool. She's super nice and everything. But what's really cool is that she's doing all of my assignments for me. I'm getting A's for the first time ever. Dude, that's awesome. Maybe I should flirt with her too. That no-good dirtbag. I needed to tell Gabby before she got hurt. I found her in the library, and to my shock, she was sitting there doing his homework. You need to throw that in the trash. That guy is no good. ¿Qué? I overheard the jerk bragging to his friends about how he's got you doing all his homework. So, I want to help him. He's nice, and I like him. He's just using you, Gabby. You can't let him treat you this way. Are you telling me he's too good for someone like me? And he couldn't possibly like me for me? No, that's not what Because I'm the freak with the disability, right? Why would you even think that? I've been trying every day to bond with you, but you're so difficult. What is your problem? Everything. I hate it here. I'm just this charity case you parade around to tell people how good you all are. You don't really understand me, and I wish I'd never come here. I couldn't believe her. After all this time, I thought we'd gotten past that, but I guess not. Well, if you're so miserable, then go. Who's stopping you? Nobody. Suddenly, Gabriella began to cry, and before I could say anything else, she stormed off. I tried looking for her once I'd cooled down, but I couldn't find her anywhere. I called Trevor, and when I told him what had happened, he came over immediately. I went too far, and I didn't mean it, really. She's just so frustrating. I think she's just hurting a lot more than she's letting on. Let's go find her. We searched for hours all over the neighborhood. Soon it started to rain like crazy, and I was so worried about her. But we finally found her sitting in the park. She was drenched and shivering like crazy, so I quickly wrapped my jacket around her. I'm not sure what's going on with you, but I think it has less to do with me and more to do with this. I picked up her cane. Gabby looked at me with tears in her eyes. It's so unfair. I'll never be a normal girl like you. That's not true. Whatever's going on, Gabby, we will handle it together as a family. Why would you even want me? I'm just a big mess. That's why no one's ever wanted me. We want you, stupid, but you have to stop pushing us away. I'm not getting any better. I'm just a huge burden. No, you're not. You'd know that if you took a second to get to know us. Please, just come home. I held out my hand to her, and when she took it, I hugged her tight. We're a family now. Get used to it. The next day, we took her to the hospital, and after many tests, Gabby was diagnosed with a rare muscle condition. The doctors started her treatment, and she had to be at the hospital for a few weeks. I stayed by her bedside every day, refusing to go home until she did. Don't worry, baby. We'll make sure Gabby gets the best possible treatment. She's going to be fine. She still needed months of physiotherapy, but we could finally take her home. Mom and Dad had decorated the living room with a huge sign that said, "Welcome home." Trevor was also there, and a few friends she'd made at school. Gabby looked so shocked when she saw everyone, and I could tell that she hadn't expected such a big welcome. Thank you all for this. I guess I will just have to learn to live with you all being so annoyingly affectionate. Yeah, that's how we roll. And you're stuck with us for good now. I think I like the sound of that very much.